Hey guys, today we are listening to one of the great short story from the book of 100 World's Greatest Short Stories. The title name was The Prisoner of Zembla. The story was written by O. Henry and narrated by Niharika. So the king fell into a furious rage so that none durst go near him for fear, and he gave out that since the Princess Osla had disappeared him there would be a great tourney, and to do the knight who should prove himself of the greatest valor, he would give the hand of the princess. And he sent forth a herald to proclaim that he would do this. And the herald went about the country making his desire known, blowing a great tin horn and riding a noble steed that pranced and gambled. And the villagers gazed upon him and said, Lo, that is one of them tin horn clambers, concerning which the clerical have told us. And when the day came, the king sat in the grandstand holding the gauge of battle in his hand, and his side sat the Princess Osla, looking very pale and beautiful, but with mournful eyes, from which she scarce could keep the tears. And the knight which came to the tourney gazed upon the princess in wonder at her beauty, and each swore to win so that he could marry her and border with the king. Suddenly the heart of the princess gave a great bound, for she saw among the knights one of the poor students with whom she had been in love. The knights mounted and rode in a line past the grandstand, and the king stopped the poor student who had the worst horse and the poorest caparison of any of the knights and said, Street knight, prithee tell me what that marvelous shocky and rusty looking armor of tin is made. Oh king, said the young knight, seeing that we are about to engage in a big fight, I would call it scrap iron, would not you? Oaths, Bodkins, said the king. The youth had a pretty wit. About this time, the Princess Osla, who began to feel better at the sight of her lover, slipped a piece of gun into her mouth and closed her teeth upon it, and then smiled a little and showed the beautiful pearls with which her mouth was set. Whereupon, as soon as the knights perceived this, 217 of them went over to the king terrace and settled for their horse feed and went home. It seems very hard, said the princess, that I cannot marry when I choose. But two of them were left, one of them being the princess' lover. Here's enough for a fight, anyhow, said the king. How hither, oh knights, we will just for the head of this fair lady. We joust with, said the king. The two knights fought for 2 hours, and at length the princess' lover prevailed and stretched the other upon the ground. The victorious knight made his horse croakle before the king, and bellowed low in his sandal. On the Princess Osla cheeks was a rosy flush in her eyes, the light of excitement wild with the soft glow of love. Her lips were parted, her lovely hair unbound, and she grasped the arms of her chair and leaned forward with hailing bosom and happy smile to hear the word of her lover. You have foughten well, Street Knight, said the king, and if there is any boon you crave, you have but to name it. Then said the knight, I will ask you this. I have bought the patent rights in your kingdom for Skander's celebrated monkey. French, I want letter from you endorsing it. You shall have it, said the king. But I must tell you that there is not a monkey in my kingdom. But I must tell you that there is not a monkey in my kingdom. With a well of range, the victorious knight threw himself off his horse and rode away at a furious gallop. The king was about to speak when a horrible suspicion flashed upon him, and he fell dead upon the grandstand. My lord, he cried, he has forgotten to take the princess with him.